Hey everyone, my name is John Freeman. I'm a physical therapy assistant that had microdiscectomy surgery. Today marks 6 weeks ago to remove a herniated disc that was pressed up against my sciatic nerve at the L4, L5 junction. If you haven't, I would suggest watching my previous videos. I posted the first couple weeks after surgery with a little diary of how I felt. I also posted a breathing exercise that you should start doing within the first couple weeks after having back surgery, just to help make sure that your diaphragm muscles and your abdominal muscles are working correctly. So like I said, today marks 6 weeks out of surgery. I'm feeling great. If you go back and watch my videos, in the first couple weeks I had severe sciatica pain that pretty much crippled my function. Couldn't sit, couldn't stand, couldn't walk. Or I should say I could, but the pain was excruciating. But they put me on a prednisone pack, 20 milligrams 3 times a day for 15 days, and that seemed to take down the nerve inflammation, and then I started to feel much better after that. A lot of rest the first 2 to 3 weeks, and then I started doing some walking around the neighborhood on flat grounds. Do not walk on uneven surfaces, through the woods, up inclines, down declines, up and down stairs, stuff like that. Try to limit for the first 2 to 3 weeks. But now I'm at 6 weeks, feeling great. Sciatica is almost completely gone. Only time I can feel it is when I go for I've been walking up to about 2 miles at a time, and I start to feel it a little bit, but nothing too bad. And once I do feel it, I just either slow down or just stop my walk completely. Other than that, a little bit of tightness in my low back, but still that's not too bad. I'm still trying to avoid things like lifting anything more than like 15 pounds, and then keeping proper body mechanics and really watching my posture is a huge influence on whether or not I feel pain. So I just wanted to touch on a couple things for posture, and then a few exercises that you should be doing at this point to help maintain the back health as you go forward. So why don't we start with some exercises lying down, some basic exercises to work on lumbopelvic positioning, which is basically the position of your pelvis and low back, which is obviously a huge position that you want to work on in terms of maintaining spine health. So we'll work on that lying down. You always want to do it in like a supine position first, so you can gain that mind-muscle connection, and then you work on towards going upwards until you're standing, and then walking as well. So why don't we do a couple things lying down. So first thing we want to do, you want to work on engaging your transverse abdominis muscle, which is the muscle that runs between your pelvis. So if you find these 2 bones right here in front of your hips, okay, when you know that you're engaging your transverse abdominis muscle, what you do is you walk yourself in about 2 inches and then down a little bit, and then from there you act like you're bringing your belly button towards your spine, and you should feel that muscle kind of dig right into your hand there. So once I pull my belly button down towards my spine, I'll feel a firmness in this muscle here. That's a good indication that you're engaging that transverse abdominis muscle. This muscle actually wraps all the way around and attaches to the back of the spine. So it basically provides like a brace for your core and your low back. So it's huge to get this muscle engaged. So what I would suggest is you want to hold and squeeze that muscle for about 10 seconds and then relax. You do that about 10 times, making sure that you're feeling that muscle become firm into your fingers. And then once you get that down, you can advance it a little more. So I would start that. You could do that with the breathing exercises around like 2 weeks after surgery. And then now I'm at 6 weeks, so I've taken it a lot further since then. So I'll show you a couple progressions once you get that transverse abdominis engaged. So a couple things you can work on after that. So once you engage that muscle, alright, so remember 2 inches in, a little bit down, you should feel that muscle engage. Alright, you start by moving the arms, alright, so you're keeping that good, maintain that proper spinal position as you put one arm straight back, alright, making sure that the spine doesn't flex or extend. Come back to 90, Go back with the other arm. Good. Making sure that you can breathe through this. Good. So let's try like 10 on each side. Alright. I would suggest doing this stuff, so I would start with just the contractions. Do that after about 2 weeks after surgery if it's pain-free. Do it for about a week. Then you can progress to the arm progression. Alright. And then once you get that down, we can do a leg progression. Alright. Which is a lot harder. But same thing to start. Okay. So you're still in that hook lying position. Make sure that you feel that muscle engage. Let's raise your knees right up to 90 degrees. From there, contract abdominals by bringing your belly button towards your spine. Slowly go one leg down towards the floor. Good. Don't touch the floor. Try to hold it there. And then come back. And then we'll do the same thing with the other side. Good. Now some people won't be able to maintain this spinal position, and what will happen is as you go forward, I'm just going to put my leg down so I can show you, I don't want to hurt my back here, but as you go down, what will happen sometimes is it will pull your low back off the ground. Alright, once that happens, you're losing the engagement of your core, which is going to be counterproductive. Alright, so if you can't put your leg straight out without extending that low back, you shouldn't be doing this. So another regression to this, keep the knees bent, you could just try to tap the toe down and back up. It's a little bit easier, making sure that this back stays in a neutral position. Alright, again, not raising off the ground. Alright, so I suggest starting with those. So that's going to work on the transverse abdominis, the muscles in the front of the core as well. And then a couple exercises to work on the posterior aspect, so working the glutes, right? A little bit of the multifidus and erector spinae muscles in the back. But it's more of a stabilization exercise. It's called the bird dog. In this, still start with the same cue. You want to bring your belly button towards your spine, right? And then from there, same thing. You can start with the arms. We're going to be a little bit easier. Make sure that you can maintain that position in the low back. Make sure that there's no rotating in the spine, right? You don't want to be rotating, and you don't want to be flexing and extending the spine. So bring your belly button in, maintain that good back positioning. Alright, and then we'll do the arm straight up and then back down. So you'll alternate, pause for about 5 seconds at the top, do 10 on each side. Alright, and then the progression to that is do the legs. Alright, so don't think of lifting your legs straight up towards the sky. You can see what happens to my low back. You get that big arch. So what we want to do, instead of lifting, you want to slide straight back, and you should be able to maintain a fairly neutral spine and then back down. So a couple things to look for doing this one. You want to try to do it in a mirror if you can. Alright, what I don't want to see, I don't want it extending down, and I don't want to see your hip dropping off to the side, so it should never turn like that. Alright, so think about keeping a nice flat spine, going back across this way, and vertical as well. Alright, so that, try to squeeze your glutes. Good, hold for about 5, and come back down. So hold for 5 seconds, try that about 5 times to each side. Alright, so I'd always try to work on the regressions first. So arms, do that for about 3 days. When that becomes super easy, then work on just the legs, do that for about 3 days. And then when you feel like you're starting to get it, keeping that nice good spinal alignment, pain-free, then you move to doing opposite arm, opposite leg. So if I raise my right arm first, my left leg's going to slide back and then back down. So what we want to do is slide it out, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then back down. Alright, and then so you'll start with doing 5 reps on each side, working your way up to doing 10 times on each side, hold for 5 seconds. Alright, so those are 2 crucial exercises to strengthen the core, work on posture, working on that lumbo-pelvic alignment to prevent the back flare-ups going forward. Alright, so stay tuned. I'll post a few exercises for stretching and releasing the muscles of the hips to keep the low back nice and mobile as well. Alright. I wish you guys the best of luck. Hopefully you don't have to get surgery. If you already did have the surgery, then good luck in your recovery. All right.